Questions lead to better health care. Go to ahrq.gov for a list of 10 questions everyone should know. Questions are the answer. Public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Psychic radio, holistic radio, spiritual radio. This is AchieveRadio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/AchieveRadio.
Time. It is Thursday, happens to be the 6th of November, 2014, and this is Fred Fassett's Visionary Awareness right here on AchieveRadio.com. My name is Bill. I assist Fred for the 2-hour duration of this broadcast. I answer the phones and read the messages and chat room messages coming in off the website. For all those of you who would like to get a psychic reading from one of the grand masters of that art, Mr. Fred Fassett. And let's see here. Let me get Fred on the screen for those of you watching on TV. See what I got to do here. There we go. And there's Fred. And let's see here. Phone number to call if you want to get a reading from Fred, 602-666-6027. Once again, 602-666-6027, the number to call. And when you call in, you will hear my voice actually giving a little quick introduction. And once you hear the show through your telephone, once you hear the show, be sure and press star 5 at that point in time. Press star 5 after you're hearing the show. You'll hear a little voice say, your hand has been raised. What that does, it pops up a little icon on my screen. Looks like a little hand, just like we're raising your hand in grade school. And, oh, yeah, we got one from Iowa. Just did that. So we'll be with you momentarily. And let's see here. Fred's website. I've got to remember to plug Fred's website, PsychicFred.com. PsychicFred.com is Fred's website. And I don't know if I said everything I'm supposed to or not, Fred, but we're on the air.
I see. Hey, everybody. Well, you know, we're on a new time now until next March. I actually know when we'll be switching back, but I didn't bring my new book over here. It's not necessary. But we're on from 3 to 5 now. And, of course, that makes me a little bit of fun thing to do because I go out to dinner after I get through working with all, because I don't want to be around here really after 2 hours. And so I went out and watered my front and backyard, and I've got my roommate's dinner set in the oven, not turned on yet. He won't be home till 5:30. So by 5, I will run in there and do that, and then tell him it's in there and escape out of the house. Kind of a fun thing to do, you know. I heard Good Morning America, I don't get to turn it on at 7 o'clock like normal. My roommate's up with his dog, and my 2 little girls, so that they don't get along. So when I got up, I was sitting watching this. I hadn't got my breakfast drink yet, and something strange came across, all that information across the bottom. I read it a lot of times, and all of a sudden I saw man eaten by python. I went, what? Oh, come give me a break. So because I'm dyslexic, maybe I looked at it wrong. So it takes a while to go back and it goes over it again. I'm like, I don't believe this. How is that possible? We know those big pythons, they squeeze their prey and then. So I called my friend in California, and after around 9 o'clock, because it's 9 or whatever it was, it's 8 there. So he called me about an hour later, I told him, he says, you know what that was? I said, God, tell me, am I lose my marbles? Not exactly. And this is what happened. This is going to be on the Discovery Channel, everybody. And don't let your kids watch this. This is a reality show. And when I do, you're going to see how I think man is slumped to a low area. This man put on some kind of plastic stuff over his body and placed it with blood over it, and he got in front of this python. The python swallowed him down the hole, and he actually lived, because what they did was, because I wasn't watching this, they had to slice the python open to get him out. Had they not, the acid in the animal, that would have been all she wrote. Can you believe that we've got, here's an innocent animal, big, it does what it does, and a human, for a reality purpose or whatever it was, this is going to be on Discovery Channel, went and did a stunt like this. I think this is terrible, ridiculous, and outrageous because, they're God's animals. And I don't care how big it is. I mean, there's a lot of people trying to save our animals, and here we go around and do a stunt like that. It blows me away. The other thing I wanted to go over, all this election stuff, the millions and millions and millions of dollars they've spent is totally outlandish. They should take half of that money, because they don't need it, and start paying for our highways, pay for poverty, and feed the poor in the United States, and make sure everybody's got a roof over their head. I think this is disgusting. And one of the races here, it was $26 million these people spent to try to get into that one seat. And I never thought of this. This is all since I've been going through this 7 years of growth. I'm looking at everything now because I'm coming to the end of it like this, and then all these things start popping up like this thing I saw on Good Morning America, and I thought I was losing it. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it's a little bit ridiculous. Now, when Mercury went to retrograde in October, started in Scorpio, wound up in Libra, cardinal sign. And then we had a lunar eclipse in Aries, and then we had the moon wobbles, either in Libra or Aries, and that about killed everybody, including me. And so now we have started on Wednesday, but it's a full moon at 14 Taurus, and in about 23 minutes, or now less, we're going to have an opposition to the sun in Scorpio. So this ought to be very interesting. When I talked to one of my girls, she said that this could, and praying that this will break up all that other energy. It might take 3 days, which would be up to Saturday. If it's 4 days, it's up till Sunday, and this can break all that apart. So now things can start coming back together in a positive way, because all of you have been going through stuff. There's been lots of pain, struggles, arguments and relationships and breaks up and everything else from this cycle. And it's been about a month now. And so I want you all to realize that this could loosen the barrier up here, so where we all can. I'm feeling a lightness myself. I had a good day yesterday. And what's happened is allowing me, I'm becoming more intuitive as well. And the way they teach me things. I was watching Long Island Medium today, and it was, I do this because this is what I do, and I live and eat and breathe it, So anyway, let's see, remember today, or while we're working, month, day, and year of your birthday, not the time, and let's be very direct with each other so I can give you a good insight and I can have fun, because this is 2 hours, and believe me, after I talk to 16 people, 10 people, or whatever it is, I'm a basket case, so I wouldn't talk to anybody for 2 to 3 hours afterwards anyway. So Bill, I'm ready if you are.
Okay, well, we can do that, and let me re-echo what you just said to Kathy in Canada. Welcome to the show. Got your message. You will be second. I've got one phone call ahead of you. But Kathy, if you will send in the month, day, and year of your birthday, it helps Fred tune in a little bit better. You get a little bit more precise, concise reading. If you do that, it's not required if for whatever reason you don't want to, but it does help somewhat. So, Kathy in Canada, if you could send that in, it would probably be a good thing. And that said, let's go to... Oh, hello, puppy.
It's the mailman. The mailman, at least we'll get it over with.
Your puppy dogs must like legs with blue... blue around.
I tell them they can't have an hors d'oeuvre. So now we're going to get this every week because this is the time he shows up.
Oh, yeah, okay. So
we're done.
Oh, going to happen every week, folks.
That's right.
Oh, Debbie in Iowa, let's start out with you. Actually, we started with the pups, but we'll go to you next, Debbie. So, how are you, Debbie? Hi.
Hi, doing good.
Yeah,
hi.
So what? Yes, hi, Debbie. When's your birthday?
It's December 8th, 1952.
Oh, at least you're in that little group of people. Saturn's going to go through your sun house. Let's just see how good it's going to be to you, you know? Let's see if you're completing one thing and stepping into another. That's always an interesting situation. Before I ask you what you want. Oh, boy. You can be a little stubborn sometime. Did you get the other one? Yes. You're going to finish the Neptune return. And then it's going to, let's see, you got Saturn, Mercury. Not bad. When all the Scorpio gets out of your way, it'll be more fun. All right, so it'll take a while for that, your Sun and Mercury to be hit by Saturn and Sagittarius. In the meantime, how can we help? I mean, you're making a big completion this year. Swear to God. And you have Leo and Mars, so you find yourself a bit stubborn also from time to time. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, you're asking me if I'm stubborn?
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Mm-hmm.
In what ways? I'm not
Well,
quite sure.
let's just put it like this. Most people with Mars and Leo are stubborn, like if they want to make a decision, they have a mindset the way that's supposed to be, okay? And so it's not a negative thing. It's how you handle it, okay? Because it's a strength. One of my best friends had that, and I didn't even know that for years. And totally, sometimes being he's a male, it's always his way. And I said, aha, now I know. And then you got the moon in Taurus. So you're a powerful lady. You're not a weakling, okay, unless you allowed yourself to go through that lesson. It's not becoming if you did it, but I have a funny feeling that you're a strong woman. So how can I help you now?
Okay, well, I have been getting guidance. But when I get the guidance, something will come in and like it'll hit me, and sometimes I would say ouch, like OUCH, and like for example, I was sitting in a car waiting for somebody to show up, and they hadn't showed up, and then I felt that energy, and I said ouch, and then within a few minutes they showed up. Well, I'm finding out that that's not a good thing, because that's not a good way to be getting my guidance. And also, for me to put protection, well, I put protection every day. I ask Archangel Michael to protect me and other archangels, so I'm kind of confused. I don't understand.
Okay, let me put it this way. Your guides are trying to get a hold of you. But, number one, you can do the Archangel Michael thing, which is very good, but you want to call your guides. By the way, do you know your guides?
No, I don't.
Okay, this is the next thing. One of these days you can give me a call here, and I can help you with that. I've developed so many people. You want to always say, care what religion you come from. You can change the words around to fit you, but you have to say, in the name of the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, Mother, Father, God. If you're Jewish, you do it the Jewish way. If you're Baha'i, it's the Baha'i way, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I only allow that of God and light to come forward. No negative energies can come to me, and this stops it right in the tracks. I got people here I've worked with, and they have a habit of leaving the word God or universe out. And because the universe is so big, they'll throw things at you. So what you want to do is ask them, if this is a positive purpose and you have something for me to learn from this, the only way I will accept you, you will come into the God and Mother God's light, and that's why I will listen to you. Otherwise, I won't. I believe your guides are trying to get a hold of you, all right, because they do some very interesting things, and they've done it to me years and years and years ago when I started my career. It was very interesting, and because I'm an empath, I hear for you, I don't hear for myself. Okay, so I'm calling on Archangel Michael was a good thing. I'll give you credit for that. But now you want to go a little bit further, and you say, when you say this, and you say it with power, not in anger. Okay, you say, I will not answer you. But if you're in the light of God, Mother, Father, God, I will listen to you. Otherwise, I won't. And I'm not accepting any negativity. And it's a little bit of a ritual, but it protects you with all the garbage that's out there. Now, what state are you in? Oh, you're in Iowa. Okay. I have a friend back that... I'm sorry?
I moved to Missouri.
You're where? You're where?
I moved to Missouri. I'm not in Iowa anymore.
Oh, okay. All right. That's okay. That's okay. This is what I want you to do. If you can, find a meditation class. Make sure that the instructor knows what they're doing. I can help you with this too, but since you're in that area, look up a meditation class someone's running that deals with getting names of spirits for the students, making sure they're the real thing. It doesn't take long when you're in a bunch of people and see the instructor, how they work. And sit down there with them if you feel this is a good source for you to work with, and have this person get you now this is what I call it. Now the instructor may do this differently. I'm older than most people. All right, so I come from an old way of doing things. I call the main guide the gatekeeper. The reason I do that, someone to protect you, say from the negative energies, and then all the guides, males and females, because angels can't give you, they protect you. They don't bring you the monies and things like this. They're not on that conscious level. And so if they can do this for you, then you work with one. And every day you sit down to meditate, you have to say some type of a prayer before you get going. Now, right now, I'm looking around you, okay? You have ability. That's number one. You have gifts. And as soon as someone helps you with Saturn working on you now and the next one coming in, I have a feeling this is a perfect time for you to open up. You also have healing ability if you wish to find a source to open that door for you. It's your choice. Okay, and I believe you could hear, but it'll take a while. You might try feeling it, and that's whomever's going to work with you. And then, but always make a statement bringing God, Goddess name in when you're doing this, and all this other stuff will stop. Okay, you've got gifts, Debbie. That's the idea is wherever you're living, look for someone that does a group, and because they're all over the country, certain places. And if you can't, then I can work with you on Skype, and I'll help you out, things like that. All right? So just take, well, this is what I'm going to do right now. Are you visual or do you feel?
Well, I feel. Well, I feel big time. And
okay.
I see colors.
All right, let's do this. I'm going to do something right now for you. First of all, I don't know how much you've heard the show before, but I'm half Native American, half Irish, and so forth. So I've got my Native American guides, I've got my Asian guides, and so forth. So what I'm going to do is pull some energy that's not cool away from you. Not a big deal. We all go through this during the week. If we get around somebody negative, we pick up their energy. I always believe let's stay grounded, let's stay focused. So all this other crap that people like to play with and say names and you got negative energy around you, and I always sit there and look at them and go, yeah, right. Okay. So right now, I'm going to do a cleansing around you right now, very easily. Okay. So I'm taking some energy, I'm pushing some energy away, and this is what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to put two things around you and tell me what you feel. First thing is, as this is cleansed out, I'm going to put the white light around you like a funnel, okay? And I said you're strong, so you probably analyze things to a degree too. So here's one for you that you might like. I've had 3 ladies in my life to do this, and it works beautifully for them because it's the only way they can get it together. And a lot of ladies are listening, so, what can I tell you? This happened to a student in Santa Barbara a long time ago. Now, I want you to visualize a white bag or feel a white bag, and you're going to step into it like pardon the expression, a girdle. It's the best way I can explain this to you. You're going to pull this white bag up, all the way up to over the top of your head, and sense yourself tying the top of it with a string. Okay, now you know you're protected and nothing can get to you, and that will stay like that. Now your mind is going to play a little trick on you because that's your human. But try this out. I've already put a white light around you, but this other one might work with your analytical side, and after a while, when you start accepting it, it will just be there. You'll be able to blink and bingo, it'll just be there. For the time being, you're learning how to do something. Okay? So if this works for you, how do you feel right now? Do you feel a little lighter?
I feel like more relaxed, yeah.
Yeah, that's the idea. Okay, you're all right now. I changed some things for you. And now your next step is to find somebody in your area that does a meditation group that can work and can get people's guides, all right? And then go in there. You sense things so you know if it's right or not. If the person, him or her, is talking to you and it doesn't feel right in the heart, the solar plexus, the throat, these are 3 chakra areas, then you know the person doesn't know what they're talking about. Move on. And don't be afraid to do this, okay? And then when you find a person, you're going to be fine. Now, if you can't find a person, we give out my phone number throughout the show all the way along the line, and you can contact me, and I'll help you because that's not a big deal. But some people make a big deal out of it, okay?
Can I ask you a question? This thing what you told me to visualize, do I do that every day?
Okay.
So I like thing. Do I do that every day? No.
Good. Yeah, you do it every day because you want to start. I always start in the morning, okay? And then if you feel in the afternoon that you're not sure, until your mind accepts it, repeat it again in the afternoon. That's all. After a while, your mind will accept what you're doing, and then it'll just be a natural thing. That's all. All it is getting acquainted with protecting yourself with God and Goddess. I always say both because women, there is the female side to God. All right, and I want everybody to realize that there's 2 sides. So, do it every day, and I think you'll start feeling much better. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, my dear. God bless you, okay?
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Thanks for calling in. We appreciate it. And I'm having a little bit of excitement already while you were talking to Debbie there. One of our computers crashed. So I've been During that reading, I was madly running around bringing up a backup and getting everything reset and doing all that stuff. So, but at any rate, next up on the list, we have Kathy in Canada, who did send in a birthday, which is July 15 of 1963. 63.
Oh, we're almost there. In fact, look at this. I like this when this happens. There's no accidents in life. Okay. Okay. What's her question?
Okay. She sent in several messages, actually, so I'm going through them all. First question, how to improve my love life? Should I stay or should I go? And where are my dead relatives? I thought I'd have more communication by now. Any messages from them, mom, dad, or sis?
Gee, she wants an hour reading. Uh-huh.
I'm not sure about that first one. I'm assuming and thinking she means should she stay with her current beau or...
Yeah, that's what I picked that up too. First of all, if the two of you aren't communicating or one of you is it's not working out, you need to look at what lesson you're trying to learn with that individual, and if you've done everything you can and it's not working, it's just time to move on because, Kathy, you are in that Neptune return, which will finish the 23rd of December. That's been a 2.5-year cycle. Now, you also have that Taurus moon, so you have a strength and you have your emotions. You got everything sitting here, and you have the Virgo where you can analyze and you can criticize. So be careful that you don't pull other people in where you criticize them and they criticize you, because that happens. You need to step back and go, wait a minute, what am I doing? Okay, this can happen with the relatives. This can happen with relationships. So you want to be careful there, all right? So like I said, if it's not communicating correctly through the both of you, then you need to step back because it's not going to serve any purpose. You're Cancerian. The first thing will happen is you'll shut down. And then that little moon in Taurus will start kicking up a storm, and look out, because it will cause you probably to say things you normally wouldn't say. So that's what you're going on right now. And far as all the relatives, let me put it this way. First of all, learn how to pray and meditate. Your relatives are around you. I could get into it, but it would take a lot of time. They do, but what we do is we think too much. And when we're thinking, we can't tap in to our loved ones because we block them out. And they're there all the time. They come around periodically to assist us, and we don't get it. In dreams, they come a lot because if they stood and manifest in front of your bed or in front of your couch, you would take off running. Most people would. So they try to do this through dream states. Now, it's very fast. My suggestion to everybody is whatever you're comfortable with, always say to the divine light of God, let me have total recall of my dreams. And you write it down in the morning. Don't try to get up and run around because your mind is too busy. And you do have a lot of energy going through your mind. Okay, so you need to start having someone show you how to get into meditation, or a quiet mind is very important. It'll probably take you 3 or 4 months, and eventually God will come forward, and then your relatives will come forward one by one, because they all had lessons to complete when they got off the planet, and they get to look at everything on the other side. And then they come back around us. And then after they've been gone for a while, they detach from the Earth dimension and move on to higher levels, pending on how they live their life. It's always a big jest, and I could get in that, but it'd be like a full reading. And I don't. We got other people waiting, I think. Okay, so. The idea is the relationship may be a bit difficult. It feels like it to me. And if it's not working, don't hold on, because you're going through a cycle anyway, and it's going to complete at the end of this year. We just come in through a cycle that has been very hard on relationships and communication. So I want you just to know you're not the only one, but yours might be extended a little bit, and write out your script like I tell everybody, 8 by 10 sheet of paper, be very precise, 25 questions to 100, and go over it precisely and do the analyzing to that. Don't tell anybody what you're doing, and keep it for yourself, and every week make changes in the list and watch what happens. Okay, if you're really ready for the a relationship, it will happen. Okay, so lots of luck, Kathy.
Okay, very good. Well, Kathy, thanks for showing up, and we certainly hope that gave you some insight. And let me see where we're at here, Fred. Okay, we've got Carrie in Ohio. December 5, 1969, 6'9".
Mm-hmm.
And where are we at here? Okay. Carrie needs to know, is the next month or so a good time to have my ankle surgery and to have all those doctor's bills? And she's got something else here somewhere. Oh, and Kathy says, thank you. You're most welcome.
Okay. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, that's what Carrie said.
All right. Yeah,
doctor
see,
bills
she's got
and a surgery. Ouch.
She's got a lot of SAG here. So that's going to go over her. She's completed that Neptune return. Okay, what you need to do is plan this out, because Mercury will go retrograde in January 2015. I don't think any of us should do anything during, but you don't have any Aquarius in your chart, so this might be a good time. Now, what you want to do, I don't have, oh, wait a minute, I do too. Let me see if I can help you out here. It could be, depending on, the bills and everything else, what you're going to do, like what I did. When I went in 2011, and Brett Michaels did his heart operation in that same year, put out that everything would work fine and it would be okay. Now, I'm going to give you this information. Mercury deals with communication and everything else. It's going to go out on the 21st of January, and it will come back in on the 12th of February. Now, if you can't get this working before this, then wait till after this. If you can, I don't know how serious this is for you. Feeling like there's some pain there anyway. And you could do, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By the 19th of February, everything will be clear. So if you aren't going to do it during the Christmas time, wait until the 19th of February and then schedule it, because I always think like I've got to do something at that time myself with a filling, but it's going to come before, and that's going to be okay, as long as it's before. So it's just one of those things. And then tell yourself that you're going to be able to say, God and Goddess is going to help me make the payments on this operation. Put it all as a positive. I'm going to come out and smell like a rose. I'm going to walk fine. All this started before you go, because I did the same thing, what took place to me, and I shouldn't have been walking around, but I was. And so you want to start it. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be able to handle the bills. And God, the universe, Mother God, Father God is going to help me handle this, and it will all come out favorable. That's the way you have to do it. All right, Carrie? Thank you.
All right, very good. And Carrie, our best to your companion there also. And let me scroll up here. Still recovering from the computer crash, so bear with me, everybody. I love it when things like that happen, when you're broadcasting live radio, live TV, live everything. Let's see here. Yeah, Kathy said thank you. Okay, fascinating question, to me anyway. From Professor Roger in Nebraska. You're going to love this, Fred. Roger says, hi, Fred. I'm thinking gravitational waves will validate parallel universes because this is how gravity propagates between them, so it will point the way to further time travel. What does Spirit say here? Well, see if you can connect with the spirit of Einstein and Heisenberg and come up with an answer to that one.
Oh, I love it. The man is growing so much, for him to come up with this. First thing I'm hearing, and it's not coming from me, they're saying yes, you're right on what you're speaking about, because I won't go say that. I'll tear it up. You're right on that. There's, from what I'm hearing or picking up, sensing whatever's going on here, there's things happening around the world that we don't know about. That is, they're experimenting, or people are having experiences of what you're talking about. And they're saying, somebody's saying you're right. Now, Bill did this, I didn't. So guess who I'm looking at, and it's up over my right side, is Einstein, and I'm not joking. Okay, and he's kind of laughing. He was very serious here in life. He's laughing away like mad. And what I'm getting, he said, I thought of that when I was there. But a lot of people didn't want to listen because they didn't think that it was a possibility. And, of course, what's happening with him and others, they're helping the scientists here on Earth. So they're working with them. And, of course, a lot of people probably wouldn't believe that. But when you see this man with all this hair still, okay, and he still looks about the same age in a way, so he's there smiling away like mad, and he says he likes you. And you might even get an assistance from him. Wouldn't that be an interesting trick if he suddenly decided to work with you? I can't say he will. I'm not going to do that. But, Roger, you're on to something. Okay, buddy? You're on to something, and I couldn't have pulled this out if he hadn't stepped in right away. Bill did it, though. It's Bill's fault.
Okay, well, since I'm involved in this, I have a burning question for Dr. Einstein.
Okay.
And this will probably be in a foreign language to you, Fred, but
yes, it will.
kind of a geek. Ask the professor if the data on the Higgs boson with a mass of approximately 125 GeV is approximately accurate, or is there even a Higgs boson? Is the experimental data, can he validate that for me?
Okay, hold on a second. He's right off to my right eye. Boy, this is interesting. It's not what he's saying. It's not far-fetched, but would this make sense? More data needs to be collected so this could actually take. More data needs to be collected so this could come into being manifested or come together. Does that make any sense?
Yes, it actually makes a lot of sense.
See, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the 125 GeV, the mass of the Higgs boson, they've been somewhat tongue-in-cheek calling the Higgs boson the God particle, and that is the point to the huge collider over in CERN.
Oh, okay.
And the first experimental results are saying that it has a mass of approximately 125 GeV, which is a unit of measurement for subatomic, in this case, very subatomic particles. And that is such a wild measurement because if it was over 140 or in that range, it would indicate this type of a universe. If it was 115 or below, it would indicate a different type of universe. And it comes right in the middle, which is like the physicists are going, wow, what do we do now?
Yeah. Well, he keeps saying it keeps being repeated, repeated. More data needs to be captured and put together, and it's going to take some time. And he says someone, and he's not going to name anybody, because is going to discover what it is, and then it will just come together. And this may take a few years. It might take a shorter time. It's hard to. They're not giving me that. They'll never do that. They know they'll never give that because if that got out, so forth, who knows what would happen.
Okay, Fred, we're losing you with our usual 45-minute microphone thing. So I just switched Fred out, and yeah, Roger, there's something to ponder. I've been fascinated by the search for the Higgs boson and what it implies for a lot of the same things you talk about in your question. And okay, our gravitational waves, scalar waves connecting Einstein to Tesla. We'll ask Fred that. I'm not sure if he can hear me right now because I've got him switched out. But hopefully the good professor stuck around and we can get that question in there. So let's try. Nope, not yet, Fred. Hang on. Oh, this thing. Here we are discussing nuclear science, and we can't even Fred's Brett's headset to work. So the computers are much more inscrutable than nuclear physics. Trust me, folks. I can guarantee you that. Are you there, Fred?
I think I'm here.
Well, it's trying to clear. There, it calmed down.
Okay.
I was just telling everybody that here we are discussing nuclear physics with Professor Einstein, and we can't even get a headset to work. But hopefully the professor is around because Roger has a interesting follow-up. Our gravitational waves, our gravitational waves, scalar waves connecting Einstein to Tesla.
Whoa. Well, the first thing I got in my head is the word was of course, and he's kind of, well, this might sound strange, but he is a spirit. He's kind of jumping up and down. So what he might, okay, just a minute. Oh boy. Okay, you just might get a visit, Roger. You just might get a visit, and if you do, you better get your computer out and everything else and go for it, and keep whatever he gives you to yourself because they will never believe you in 1,000 years. All right, but he said, of course. And I don't know anything anybody's talking about, and I'm just going along with simple words he's giving me. But he's jumping up and down on the other side. I've never seen this happen before.
Well, okay. That would probably indicate to me that the scalar waves are, let me put it this way, they're a lot of disagreement about that. In other words, they're very hypothetical, I suppose, would be the way to put it. So if he's jumping up and down, that might indicate to me that he's saying, well, yeah, it's about time. Maybe that was like the missing link that he never found in his lifetime.
I do believe.
Yeah, that's fascinating. And one more question, since we don't have any more messages up yet.
Sure.
If we could ask the doctor, I would like to know if he still believes the equivalence principle holds.
Okay, I don't have no idea what you just said, so just a second. Okay, let's see if I can get this clear. Because it sure in the hell isn't me. What I'm just picking up says it's more than that. It's more than that, but not less. And when you get an idea, don't let go of it until you get the full energy of your idea and let it work like it's supposed to. And don't doubt the step. Have faith, because when I was alive, I had to struggle hard to get myself where I was at because a lot of people didn't believe in me. And what I did do surpassed some of their ideas. But what no one understood was what I'm doing now to the person in question that you asked is what I was getting when I was alive. Did that make sense, Bill?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because he was getting from spirit as well, but he didn't know that in his life.
Right.
So when he got over there and he worked out, he started connecting with all the scientists that had been here before, and they all started talking, and they proved a lot of things in his theories that he never even touched upon.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's still a lot of untrodden ground in those equations.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So it gets how this day got going the way it did. It's fascinating to me because I'm analytical, but to what you guys are doing is very interesting. And he's still got the hair. I can see that he's wearing a light kind of suit. And it could be a little stripes on it. I'm not sure. He was never a good dresser. Yeah. He was a sloppy dresser, but that wasn't important. What was important was what I was doing. There you go. Okay, so I'm looking. I don't think he was a really big man either. I don't think he was a really big gentleman because he was all in his head. Everything was in his head. And he doesn't want to really come back. He says he's enjoying it where he's at. And he's talking so much and learning so much and everything else. He hasn't thought of that. He's so busy learning that he hasn't thought about returning because he wants to make sure the world is ready when that time comes.
Right. Okay. Yeah, well, that's fascinating, actually. Fascinating to me. And... yeah, interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Professor.
Yeah. I didn't know this was going to happen today, Bill, and so forth. And I don't think I can handle him coming through me, really, because I think my dyslexia goes away when I am channeling, but that would be wild. If he'd have to put me totally out before we get that. That would blow away everybody. I could just see what would happen if he totally stepped in here.
Yeah, I can imagine. It might be kind of fun to see you writing complex equations, Fred.
Yeah, because I can't do math.
Oh, wild stuff.
It's never dull.
Yeah. And Roger sent in a single word, amazing! exclamation point. And,
okay,
I second the motion there. So.
Well, the idea is I always say one thing. Mother, Father, God, Grandfather, Grandmother, Spirit, allow me to be a perfect and clear channel because I am a human being and I'm only in this form, and the energy that comes through me is pure energy, and that's the only way it can come. And I've always wanted to be able to go totally out. It's come close. And because of my analytical side and so forth, I've had to teach other people how to get out of their heads. Oh, it's another advertisement.
One ring-a-ding.
No, it's this guy that calls up and hangs up, so this is what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I called yesterday to get some guests on the air. And, the phone rang, and I says, hi, this is the Chief Studios calling for blah, blah, blah. And the guy says, oh, thank God it's not another robocall.
Yes, true. It's true.
Oh, and speaking of funny things, this just came in while I was saying that. This is good. Somebody got a kick out of what we were talking about and sent in an anonymous, actually it's Rick is who sent it in,
Of course he would.
But, okay, the initials are SW.
Yeah.
And the birthday is January 8 of 1942. And would like to know what you get about that particular gentleman.
Well, we have to go back there a ways there. I have to go slow, my new book. Like I say, they don't make them like they used to. Nothing stays together, Oh, Capricorn. I wonder if he was a starchy person. We'll find out shortly. Rick, you are too much. I'm going to have to meet you through Skype or something. I learned not to try to figure that out because I always get disappointed.
There you go.
Not to do that. Oh, okay. Well, this guy was pretty anal and loved to be right and could have a temper. Oh, my God. Have a funny feeling. It was quite righteous, too.
Oh. Righteous meaning, well, first of all, can you explain anal a little bit and righteous a little bit?
Well, he had a Virgo moon, so he worried a lot about personal stuff, and yet he was so caught up in his head sometimes he couldn't get out of it. With Mercury and Capricorn, he has to be right all the time. Then he's got Mars in Aries, so that makes him, somebody could piss him off and he would just blow unless he learned how to handle it. And then he's got Taurus and Saturn and Uranus. So in his mind, he was always right.
Okay.
All right. So this man is extremely strong. He felt that what he knew, he knew. He didn't like people to contradict him or anything else. He basically had a pretty fierce temper, but sometimes he could break down emotionally too and get himself really in a mess emotionally at the same time. Let's see something here. Hold on.
He is still alive, by the way.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
70-something.
Yeah. I have a funny feeling, but I wonder if he's wore himself out with all the way his mind works, because he's probably got a fantastic mind and everything else, but he gives himself a bad time a lot. You know, he's hard on himself, and he can be hard at other people. The idea is that the Mars in Aries is a lesson. If people challenge him and piss him off, if he learns how to handle that, then he's in control, or other people are in control of him and set him off. Because he does have a temper. He does. It's there. But he also can go in and be very, what's the word I'm going to use? He can be sometimes go and be introverted too and beat himself up as well as other people. He can, oh God, where's this coming from? Possibly plays with the truth. He can be really truthful, or if he hits people the wrong way, he can also be the opposite of truth. He can stretch it a bit if he chooses to. All right. I don't know if this man has a scientific mind, but I think his mind is very detailed. Okay, very detailed, and oh wow! I wonder if he has some problems in his lower body, because I think he's being as worrisome as he can be and stubborn. I could almost feel that he could have some health problems in his lower body, very, very easily. He doesn't like mistakes. Drives him crazy. He probably is a genius on a lot of levels, but I do see depression there, getting hard on himself, and can be hard on others. If the people, whoever he's around, can work with him, it can be a real good relationship, but if not, it can be a disastrous. I don't know where this is coming from.
Okay. All right. That all is pretty amazing, actually, Fred. We're down to about 2 minutes, so I'll wrap it up here. The gentleman is SW. It's Stephen William Hawking.
Hawkins? Is that gentleman that's in a wheelchair?
Right.
Yeah.
You said physical disability,
right.
Definitely, virtually, completely paralyzed. You said strong mind. A lot of people say the strongest in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
And you said stubborn. Yeah, physicists have a tendency to be that way. And Hawking is no exception. He has, come up with several theoretical constructs that people have argued about, and he's argued right back at him. He can't get in their face like, they do in the conventions and whatnot.
Right.
But he's so yeah. That obviously we know where that came from. Rick Curtis talking to the good Professor Einstein and says, "Well, I want to find out what the current top genius in the field is all about."
Well, that makes sense now that he's a Capricorn. He's got all this in here. My God, the poor man, because he has to be right. And that's that Aries thing when he yells or wants to, or whatever he does there. Man, he's not afraid to say it. And I think he gets down on himself a lot. And did he marry?
I watched his bio a few years back. I don't remember. He had a sweetheart.
Yeah.
I think so. Yes, yeah. I think so. And I think she's probably why he's alive.
This is
when
true.
he shouldn't have made it past 40 with that disease.
That's right. That's right. And he's when he gets to the other side, he's going to be perfectly perfect. I'm not joking with this. When he steps out of that physical body, he's going to step out on the other side, and everything will fall away, and he won't have to be in that form. And I don't know where this is coming from either. So there's something that he's teaching the world as much as he's learning for himself. So when he passes on, he will have a perfect body.
Well, that's outstanding. Well, that wrapped up the hour, Fred. And we've got, Chris is on the line. Chris, we'll talk to you next hour. Hang in there, everybody. We are going off to our break. We will be back shortly in about 4 minutes. Hang in there.
AchieveRadio.com.
Howdy, Winchester here. Back in the 1870s, there weren't much book learning. Matter of fact, if you could read, you were considered right educated. And if you had any books, you were always welcome at many a campfire. Through books, we've met the kings and queens of Europe, sought out the mysteries of the Orient, followed on the conquests of the Romans and the Greeks, and sailed the 7 seas. Reading opened our minds to places and ideas we'd never dreamed of. But today, people don't seem to read much anymore, especially the youngsters. And then they go and tell you they're bored because there ain't nothing good on TV. Well, now let me tell you, that's one sorry excuse. So go on, do something adventurous. Wake up to the wonders of this world and beyond. Read, for the fun of it. You might just find a whole new universe out there. Your mind. This is Winchester, and I thank you.
Listening to AchieveRadio.com. A new drummer for a new awakening.
Hello, this is Jonathan Goldman.
And Andy Goldman.
Sound can be an extraordinary vehicle for healing and transformation. It can affect your body, your mind, and your spirit.
We'd like to invite you to visit our website, healingsounds.com, and discover some of the amazing things that sound can do. You'll find articles and interviews, a special store for sonic healing tools, award-winning CDs, books, tuning forks, and much more.
You can find out about the discovery of the divine name, what we call a hotline to the divine. Explore ways of studying and learning about sound healing, and even download a free recording called the 7-Minute Chakra Tune-Up.
There's much to explore in the world of sound healing, and discover ways that you can live a healthier and happier life.
Once again, we'd like to invite you to come visit our website, healingsounds.com, and experience the difference.
Thank you.
What if you got rewarded for every good decision? What if your heart had a special way of letting you know it appreciates your healthy choices?
I've got to get my family to eat more vegetables.
Amazing!
And instead of cooking with butter tonight, I think I'll saute our veggies with heart-healthy oil.
You're a genius! So really, would your food choices pay off in heart health? Did you know that when you replace bad fats with healthier fats, like those in canola or other vegetable oils, it can lower bad cholesterol levels, and that's good for your heart. Here's a winning idea. Take up the challenge for good health, because the you of the future will say,
Fantastic!
Learn more at heart.org/facethefats. Canola Info proudly supports the American Heart Association's Face the Fats campaign.
Excuse me, do you know how to get to Maine and Maple?
How's that cook? How do you change the ringtone?
How much does this cost?
Does this bus stop at Elm Street?
We ask questions everywhere in life, except...
Any questions?
No.
At the doctor's office. Ask questions.
What is this test for?
Are there any side effects?
Questions lead to better health care. Go to ahrq.gov for a list of 10 questions everyone should know. Questions are the answer. Public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Psychic radio, holistic radio, spiritual radio. This is AchieveRadio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/AchieveRadio.
And welcome back, everybody, to Fred Fassett's Visionary Awareness right here on AchieveRadio.com. Broadcasting once again live on Achieve Radio from the Achieve Radio Studio A page on the AchieveRadio.com website. Also on Achieve TV, live video from the Achieve TV page on the AchieveRadio.com website. And also on YouTube Live. And, of course, the live YouTube version will be carried over and left in place as a YouTube video available for you to peruse at your leisure. And about a little short of 2 hours long will contain the entire show, including a commercial, unfortunately. But that's just the way that works. And if you excuse me, I'm sitting here busily clicking and doing all that stuff. So, all right. Well, at any rate, we are back. The phone number to call in if you'd like a reading from Fred today, 602-666-6027. Again, 602-666-6027 is the number to call. Or you can send a message to the Achieve Radio chat room located on either of the two pages I mentioned a minute ago, or the Achieve Radio InQuick system, which is also on both of those pages, the Achieve Radio Studio A and the Achieve TV page. And, of course, those of you listening just on radio, the archives do pop up right after the show. And let's see here. I think that's everything. Fred's website, psychicfred.com. Psychicfred.com, the website. Be sure to check it out. Fred offers a lot more than just psychic readings. So peruse the website and give Fred a call. We're back, Fred.
Yep. I'm here. So where are we? Well, let's see. This may look around here. All right, realizing everybody that this full moon in Taurus, all this stuff we've been going through for about a month, by rights is supposed to break this all up. Could happen by Saturday, could complete by Sunday. Because I almost had a client calling me before this, and I had to have her call me tomorrow. So there's some things coming back in. This was a rough one, and it also messed with relationships, communication. There was a moon wobble in there. Of course, that lunar eclipse in Aries was no fun. Brother, it was like playing croquet. Only I think they used a mallet on our heads, to be truthful. And so right now, let's see. While we've been doing this, there is the full moon's in Taurus at 14, and it's oppositioning the sun in Scorpio. So that's still going on. So it's like two fixed signs playing games with one another. There'll be another one. It'll be later. It says 8:31 for California. It'll be 9:31 here, and so forth and so forth. That will be moon opposition Venus. I think Venus is in Scorpio. I'd have to look it up quickly, but nevertheless, that's where we're at right now. Okay, so all of you people who are doing Neptune returns, when Saturn goes next month on the 23rd, on Christmas Eve or whatever, this 23rd, 24th, that Neptune return will be done for a lot of you, unless you're at a real late degrees. And when it moves into Sagittarius and it gets out of Scorpio, it's going to be a lot better. The only thing will happen there is all the mutable signs will go through a 2.5 years cycle, which is Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, and Pisces. But it shouldn't be as bad as when things were going through Scorpio. All right? So depending on how old you are, where you're at, and what's going on, it gets to be kind of a time, and you don't want to have to challenge through what I've been going through for 7 years. I am going to graduate. I don't know if the universe reaches down and gives you a role. I mean, I've been getting kicked in the butt, so maybe that's what they're going to do. I have no idea. But I've been told 2015 is my year, and I'm ready. So look, everybody, I'm ready to go. If there's anybody there, Bill, and let's see what we can do in this next hour.
Okay, well, we can definitely do that, and sort of promised our old friend Chris that we'd get to him. So let's go ahead and do that. Chris, welcome back, buddy.
Hello, Fred and Bill.
Yes, hello, bud. So this cycle should have been a little hard on you that we just gone through. So have you had some, have you been depressed, upset, angry, people not hearing you, meaning communication-wise, and family people not paying attention or not getting, if any of that's happened, this is what's starting to subside now. So did any of those things happen in the last 3 or 4 weeks?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now you know there was a reason behind it. All right, but that's being taken care of as we speak. So by this weekend, as we get through it, it should be much lighter. All right, so someone like you feeling all that has to be an extra difficulty. But now you know there was a reason behind it. So what can we do for you? And breathe in between the words and see if I understand you. Of course, that's why I have Bill there too. So what's your question today? And take your time.
I don't know. Do you see anything coming my way soon? Because I've been stressed out a lot, and I've been getting to it.
Somebody's coming to my door. I can't answer it. Yep, somebody's put something in the door. They should not have come to my house, but they did. The girls want to tear them apart.
I thought they were giving Chris a reading there for a minute.
Well, I did too. Especially the little. Hey, quiet down. Come on. Especially the little one. She's the more stubborn of the two. All right, I got part of us. Do I see anything for you? What was the rest of it? I got the first part.
I've been having a hard time with my roommate. I'm asking things come up from good.
Okay, that's the part. Okay, that's the part I'm not getting, Bill. I got the first part. The last part I don't get.
Well, basically, he's having a hard time with his roommate, and maybe any guidance or you see any relief to that or resolution.
Well, yeah, this is what's been going on the last month. Okay, so this will quiet down. If you're having a communication problem, which wouldn't surprise me any, okay, this is a lesson for you to find another way to, that's what I'm going to suggest you to do. Okay, roommates are not easy to be with. And all of us have done it in our lives, and so they are not easy to do with. Now, in your case, because you're not clear, my suggestion is this. Is there anyone around you, preferably a female probably, that can sit down and talk to the two of you and straighten this out? Because these things are going to pop up, Chris. This is part of you growing up. And I'm not there to see what the problem is, but you need someone to... I call it a sounding board, because you might be the problem, he might be the problem, you both may be the problem, and this has to work itself out. This last number of weeks, at least a month, has been terrible. All right, but I'd like to see you talk to another adult that can help you make a change there, because you're moving forward. And there's bound to be little problems you're going to have to learn how to handle. This is part of you growing up. So now you need to find someone you can talk to, maybe a lady or another gentleman, and discuss what's going on, but realize, are you part of the problem as well? And when you do this and get it all resolved, then everything will move accordingly. All right, so this is how I'm looking at this. There's a two-way street there. Now, did you understand what I just said?
No.
Yeah. All right. I'll try one more time. I'll try one more time. You need another adult, man or woman, to sit down and discuss what the problem is with you and your roommate. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you need to get somebody, and don't lay back and don't do this, because things will get worse. And then before you're through, if it's his place, you'll have to move or whatever's going to happen. But you need someone to talk to straighten this out between the two of you. And then when you do that, you move on from there and find out because somebody has to find out what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Okay, but you need another person to sit down and talk to so they can decide what's the problem. And then work on it, get rid of it, and move forward. That's what you need to do. Okay? Can you do that for yourself?
Hey, do you think things coming from me? Like, do you think anything good coming up from me soon?
Well, but see, if you get somebody that you can explain this to, so that person can see what he's doing and seeing what you're doing and solve the problem. It's a question of communication. Okay? A question of communication. That's where it is. And you do this, it'll get resolved and you can move forward. All right?
Okay, that's cool.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
Sure.
Take care, Chris. We'll see you next time. And we have an interesting one here. Let me see if there's anything else ahead. No, I think we're caught up here, except for this one that I was kind of going to save back, but we'll go ahead and do it because it's a little light again today. Everybody's
I know.
Getting whiplash. They're not getting robocalls now the last 2 days. So
yeah. The political arena I think is in a worse mess, but that's beside the point.
Yeah. But any rate, this came in, and it's another one of your favorite kind of readings, Fred.
Yeah, right.
The initials are AM. A is in Apple, M is in Mike.
Uh-huh.
And birthday February 20 of 1942. Very close to Mr.
Very
Hawking,
close.
Dr. Hawking.
Yeah, we just have to go back a little further. You know? Oh, yes, he's been going through a Saturn cycle. Okay, anyway, forget it. We got to go back a little further here. And let's see what we get. I always love these things. This person's been going through change, too. Oh, yes. Let's see, did he get in there? 1 degree Pisces. Oh, Lord. Here we go again. Maybe. Is this a male?
Yes.
The Taurus moon helps this guy out, fortunately, because otherwise he could be a mess. That one there. Jesus. Wow. Another stubborn person. Mm-hmm. Oh.
that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, very stubborn. Sometimes doesn't always hear. All right, there is an emotional side to this person, but I think their ego kind of takes over quite a bit in his life. And he was this person. Nah, this person wasn't in any kind of high position, were they?
Yes.
Were they in the White House?
No, not in the White House.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, I was kidding. All right. Whatever position he's in, if it's not political, he probably thinks he does. Okay, because his ego's huge. Mm-hmm. All right, and he loves being right. Mm-hmm. He doesn't see that he makes any mistakes either. Mm-hmm. And because of the sun, he can twist things around himself if he chooses to. Because, boy, you know this guy? Hard-headed. Oh, my God, he is hard-headed. Is he running a company?
That's not his main thing, no.
No, well, he acts like he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people in his position would. What about integrity, honesty, those types of things?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, the honesty thing is there, but I think he can stretch that a bit when he wants to get whatever way he wants to. Does that make any sense?
Right.
The integrity has been. I think it's changed. Oh, look at this dumb thing here in front of me. Has changed over the years. I think sometimes he pisses people off a lot. Okay. And he goes in. Sometimes he hides in himself. Okay. And I'm telling you, he is so hard-headed. He likes to be right. And he gets really angry if he doesn't get his point across and no one's paying attention. Mm-hmm. And he wants a certain way, and he's not afraid to scream at people, but then he can fall apart emotionally himself. Yeah. Which is real interesting. I don't know if he drinks or not, but that would be real interesting because I don't know what that is around there, but that's emotionally he's a mess.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
So it's not.
As far as well, you said the integrity's changing, getting better or worse?
Worse.
Getting worse. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That doesn't really surprise me too awful much. Trying to think where I would like to go with this.
Okay.
Rick just kind of said. Oh, go ahead.
What's he in charge of if he is? If he's not, his energy is showing like he's in charge of something, and he has a tendency to lose his patience around people. And I feel he yells at people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, a very recent, well-documented example of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and because if he loses it, watch out, because oh my God, he'll scream. You hear him all over the place.
Yeah.
And then after the fact, he can fall apart emotionally.
Yeah. Okay.
So okay.
Yeah. How would you rate him in terms of his I guess his vision, or what's the word I'm searching for?
Okay. How he sees the future or something? How he sees the future for everybody?
how he feels about it. For example, you did someone some months ago, and you said they were very sure of all their ideas, but they were mostly wrong.
Yeah, well, this is the same thing with this guy.
That's interesting.
There's something
that fascinates me, because this guy is the absolute polar opposite of the other guy. So I guess the truth is in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, it is. It is. But he's in his own way. So he needs to be careful for what he's doing, because he can tear down the structure if he doesn't watch out. And I know there's some honesty there, but then sometimes he messes that up too. He's impatient. Oh my God, is he impatient? He wants it now.
Yeah.
He wants things now, and that messes things up. And so as he's gotten older, normally you get more patience. This one's losing the patience more and yelling at people.
Fascinating. Fascinating. Yeah, where I was going. How would you rate him as an administrator, supervisor?
Oh, well, it could be a control freak. Let me see here. He likes power. He likes the power. And to run things, he could get it really going really well. And if his ego gets in the way, then that could get him in some trouble, depending on how he's handling at this point in his life. I think he's got what it is. He gets the He gets the idea, and it really starts working, and everything's going nice, and then he blows it with his impatientness. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I would say that makes sense as well as I can say. Okay, AM is Addison Mitch McConnell, presumptive head of the Senate come January. Right. And what intrigued me about it is where I was going is many months ago. They asked me not to tell you this at the time, but it's been several months ago. We did a left-wing a broadcaster, not necessarily journalist, but a journalist, but an advocate journalist, a very far left wing, one of the MSNBC crew. And your reading was that he's totally convinced of his ideas, but they're all wrong. Now this guy is so far to the left, it's frightening. Mitch McConnell, the other direction.
Guess what's going to happen here? Because Obama is a Leo, and he's Pisces with all the Taurus, they're going to clash like glass.
Yeah, big crash. Yeah, that's. Yeah, that's. In fact, there was an interesting news story just came out today that. We can see that coming. What's going to happen? I don't have a clue, but it intrigued me because it fits exactly my own personal feelings that McConnell is way to one direction and the other gentleman way to the other direction, and basically you said that they're both wrong, and you said the truth is somewhere in the middle, and that's what I've always thought.
Yeah.
Everybody says, "Oh, if you're moderate, you're wishy-washy," but no, you're not radical to one way or the other.
You know what's interesting? The guy that's there now is a Pisces, and now they're going to another one, but he's got all this Taurus. I'm not joking. He's got Taurus everywhere because he goes in. Okay, where to go here? Okay. First of all, he can be. God dang it! All right, I've got to look over here. I was messing it up there. 1, 2, 3, 4 planets in Taurus fixed, and Mercury and Venus in Aquarius. So 4, 5, 6 planets all fixed in a sign. He doesn't hear all that well, and then there's a side of him that can be very emotional and all that, but he's still stubborn, and he hears what he wants to hear, and he better watch out, because he could end his career if he doesn't watch out. See, one thing's going to be Saturn and Scorpio has been hitting all that. So going into Sagittarius, here's another advertiser. Here, I'll do it to him again. He just hangs up on me anyway, so why should I answer it? So the idea is...
Hey, Fred?
Yeah.
You know, we tried to set the headset so it would last 45 minutes. Didn't work. It's going wacko again. So go figure. Okay, I'm going to patch Fred out. And anybody tuning in, we do have open lines. We got a ton of open lines. 602-666-6027. Again, 602-666-6027 if you want to call in on a very bizarre day here on Visionary Awareness with Fred Fassett. Very bizarre day, and interesting reading about the gentleman soon to be, everybody seems to think, soon to be the senior head of the Senate of the United States of America. After the rather amazing election a couple days ago, and actually sounded to me like just about any other politician, maybe a little integrity, maybe not, but not afraid to stretch it at any given time. I guess it's sad, but it seems to be true that's part of politics. Let's see how we're doing here.
Okay, am I here? Am I there? Hello?
It's fading. Yeah, you're good now. I was just telling everybody it seems to me like you also did, and I don't think you were aware of it at the time. You also did Harry Reid, who holds that job now until January. And basically you pegged him as you didn't even give him the benefit of any integrity.
What can I say? When spirits talking, they're talking.
So yeah, I was just telling everybody while I had you switched out there that it seems to me that that's almost part of the job description to be a politician, is your integrity has to be slim and variable.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So there you go. So, I mean, there's going to be, all I can say is barf, on the whole thing.
Yeah, all 535 of them.
That's right. That's right.
Although I will say there's one person, and she does happen to be our congresswoman here from South Dakota, our lone congressperson. I think she's a wonderful person.
Okay, great.
But, actually, I ought to have you do a reading on her, because it is really slow today. Nobody's called, and I don't think...
Well, you know what it is? That stuff that's going on that I've been talking about, it's blocked. It's blocked businesses and everything else. I'm serious. It's blocked everything. And so because of that, is she light-haired?
No. November 30, 1971. Her name's
she's a Sagittarius.
Christy Lynn Nome.
She's got a lot of light energy around her, Yeah. So that's probably why I picked that up. And so I can see. Sometimes I use the word "see" a lot, everybody, and that's not always what I'm doing. But Sagittarius, where she got Taurus moon, there's a strength. Okay. Capricorn there, Pisces there, that helps balance. Gemini, boy, is she intelligent. Very intelligent, passion. But she's not afraid to speak up either. Yep, she's not afraid to speak up for herself, and she, when she talks, she knows what she's talking about too. She's probably one of the more enlightened ones in the entire group.
Yeah, I felt that. Yeah.
Yeah, she is, and she. I don't think she knows it, but I think she's getting help from above. She wouldn't know that because they would freak out if they knew that. But still, yeah, she's got some good stuff there, and she's young, but I bet she goes somewhere in the career. I don't see her fudging, twisting things or anything like that. The males do a lot of twisting and all kinds of stuff, and but you see the females are coming in, which the female energy is important. Because it's been 500 years since the men had the chance, and Mother Earth says she's really pushing the female energy in, and that's what's going to take over everywhere. Because it's been given a chance, and boy, some of them blow it. Because the men like to start wars, and women will talk it out and figure it out so that they can get it done in a better way. And this lady's that way too. She's probably not. She's probably somewhat attractive as well.
Yeah, she's pretty and intelligent, and I like her because she's a rancher and a farmer.
Oh, good.
And a country person. And
of
course, everybody's country people here in South Dakota. The joke I always make is we've got 3.5 million registered cattle and only about 500,000 registered voters.
That makes total sense. See, this whole thing we're going through right now is what I've been going through for some time now, and it's really been a block. And I know it's loosening. I feel better from yesterday, and today I would have done one today, but I pushed it tomorrow because she came within a half an hour. She didn't know my radio time had changed. And so it gets to be very interesting. And I think Jolie is going to be coming through more and more and more. One thing you don't want to piss off is Geronimo.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh, by the way, I have a shirt that has this picture on it. And I don't wear black, but that's the only way they could put his face on it. So one day I wore it, and my friend was over here, and I was asking some questions, and everything else, because I can't do it for myself. And so I said, do you like the T-shirt I'm wearing? He says, I was pissed off then. I'm not handsome. Now I'm really handsome and good looking.
Well, there you go.
So I thought, okay. Can you send me a new picture, please? Oh God, because they did piss him off, and I mean, they were afraid of him because he had magic, Indian magic, that is. And then they did some nasty things. So there's a lot of karma there. There's a lot of karma dealing with him and the Native Americans. And people don't know this. And if I told you some of the stuff I knew, and it's like, ooh, and then my grandmother has come through, and she told me about walking a trail of tears and what really happened and why they don't smile, and there was no need, and they don't want to come back until everything's straightened out because there's no point. And this is why a lot of them are dying of diabetes and everything else, because, they're still looked down upon. And in this state, you can see it. And they probably wouldn't agree with me, but I can watch it, and go, oh, yeah, right, okay. And I watch it. I watch what they say back and forth, like out there where the Navajos, they got, I can't think what they call it, out there in the soil. It's a poison, and they're living out there in that soil, and the people in charge will not help. And this is going to add more karma to the humans, especially the Caucasians, because they don't want to go. They can go out there and fix it. If a group of their own went out there, they'd be out there so fast that you couldn't even speak of it, but they won't do it. So this is more karma being brought out, and it's going to get even more interesting before we're through. So that's where that's at. So I'm just letting people know it's not over. And I'm part Native American, and that's why I have a Caucasian name. They told me had I had the other, I would have even been in worse trouble. And I have lighter skin, and they made sure that would happen too. And my real sister, she's not longer with us, but I tanned phenomenally. And I used to go out and do that all the time when I was younger, not knowing, And if I get really dark, things will start showing up. And I saw one picture of my real mother once, and boy, I'm a spitting image of her. That was real interesting for me to see that. And then my dad hated any dark-skinned people. So he loved my sister over me until she started dating a Hispanic, and he flipped his lid.
Yeah, now, was he the Irishman or the...
Yeah, he was the Irishman. Yeah. He was the Irishman. So the only thing I can think of, he must have had another run-in with Indians in another lifetime. Maybe he was one. He was Pisces with Virgo rising. Mm-hmm. So, that's where that was. And it's like, oh, my God. And so here I am. If my sister could speak the languages, and when she came to live with us, I had never seen her. She never went to school because my real mother was hiding her, so they couldn't find her. So that kind of a thing. What is going on now? So it was very interesting, and then I learned that they did such a number on her. I can't find anything about her, because what my thought was, if I could get in and prove it, because of what my birth certificate is a lie. They've got me down as Caucasian, and I'm not. I'm only a little bit, so they screwed that up real well. I said, okay, that's not supposed to, so let that one go and move on. It's the way it is. And back then, they did things. You can't do that anymore. So that's where it's at. It's interesting. And of course, when before I came here, they had a big celebration. And they brought me to my friend's house, who now lives in Oahu. And where did they think they put me? Right beside the drum. And they started beating that thing, and I was gone. I don't know where I went. It was the first time I felt like I was out flying over something. And I'm telling you, this big Indian came through and started talking. And I mean, people were like blown away. And I said, well, look what you set me right next to a drum. What did you expect me to do? Oh, God, this is too... I'm sorry this is slow, but this is what I've been going through for some time now. And, and being Aries, I really got my butt kicked, and that's where it is. And this ends for 500 to 1 million people on the 23rd of December. And this other stuff that's leaving now will be too. And I don't know if you remember this gentleman when we first started. His name is Reggie, and he's back in Ohio. And he's an Aries. Yeah, and I said his talent... He called me recently. Guess what? He went to New York, and the people are looking how to get him out there, and he hit it. I didn't ask him. He just started talking. I'm like, oh, my God. Well, it comes through next year is my year, and I said, watch me attack that. I'll hang on to that. I'm so ready. I mean, I may be older, but I don't act that way because, it's like, wait a minute here. I need to do 5 people a day. It used to be 10 and 15. We're down to 5 people a day now. But, I get in it and really love doing it. My therapy side comes out, and then I get into the regressions. I can talk to a person, and sometimes pictures start falling in my mind, and I know why they're doing what they're doing. Because of all this thing I've gone through for 5 years, they've expanded my mind now. And now, like me seeing all these political people wasting millions and millions of dollars, which basically is going to come back and bite them in the ass because all the negativity they put out there, they think they did this wonderful job. Now they got into the position, but what they don't realize is the people that were working with them really gave out the negativity. And so this is all a backlash somewhere down the line. I don't know where it is. And so I guess we'll see what's going to take place, but it's a big mess. And I know why they're after who. I know why that's all there. I know everything about that, but me keep mouth shut or somebody put glue in my mouth. There's some things I won't talk about because if I told you half what comes my way, it's like I just sit there and go, oh, really? Okay, so that makes sense. That makes total sense about that person. And all those people there, that are in that position have karmic lessons because they've been given the choice to enlighten the people, help the people get where they need to be, and they're doing everything in reverse. So it's about themselves, and they have people they're paying off and doing all this stuff, so they're really screwing themselves because when they die and cross over, this is where they get to see the truth, and now they have to face it all. And that's every one of them there, and back there in Washington, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And the backstabbing is ridiculous. It's like, if I look at this, it looks like a bunch of snakes dancing. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big mess, and it didn't need to be that way. Remember back when FDR was in and everything else? That was a whole different ball game. I was 7 years old when they stopped us from saluting a flag like the Nazis and made us put our hands over our hearts.
Yeah.
I'm old enough to remember some of this stuff, you know. But anyway, so nobody's calling in. That's real interesting today. They must be having a lot of problems themselves.
Yeah, it's really quiet. I don't know what's up with that.
Well, that's that Uranus thing. Seriously, the Uranus thing taking place because I'm not Uranus. I'm sorry. The lunar eclipse in Aries. Okay, and then we have the Mercury retrograde was in Libra. It's going back into Scorpio today or tomorrow. Let me see. I just saw that. Oh, it's going in Saturday. It's going to go in the afternoon. It's going to go back into Scorpio. So now that gets the Mercury out of the... And Mercury is actually... Isn't that right? Yeah, that's right. Mercury's going to go back into Scorpio. That's where it was when it started, and then it all went into cardinal signs. And then Lauren has said when we do a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse, then that's when the moon wobble comes in, and then you have to usually figure out what sign it was by. I believe it was in Aries or Libra. I couldn't find my stuff to see where it was, so it just caused a big block and screwed up all the relationships, business stuff, and everything else. And my best friend is Aries, and he hasn't called me in a month, so I know this was affecting him. So yeah. We'll see what happens, everybody. So the idea is the stuff is going to work its way out. We're going to be okay somehow, some way. This has been since 2007. All the things that have been going on. So now this is going to end the next month, 23rd to 24th, and let's see if I'm right, because you see, when all this stuff starts happening, if there's a reason for everything, must be wait a minute, I got ITIS in there. That's November, Fred. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to figure this out. I went to the 23rd, but it was November. That's not going to help us any. Let's see. It says, there it is. On the 23rd, it'll be California 8:33 a.m. and here it'll be 9:33 a.m. It says 11:33 on the other, so that will have to balance where everybody is. So it is on the 23rd. It goes into Sagittarius. That's when all this stuff just ends. So it is that day. Okay, so that gets to be real interesting. And then Christmas Eve will be the 24th, and then Christmas is the 25th. And that gets, see, that's when everything starts changing. So we'll have a whole new flow of energy, and that Scorpio stuff will be out for a while. What it is going to do by March or up through June, I think June through September, it's going to hit 29 Scorpio and sit there like a swing. So anybody's got that degree, then you'll know that you're going through something. You'll kind of get an idea, and then you get to go. It gets to sit on you there until it stays in Scorpio. I mean, in the Sagittarius. Of 2015, it'll be there for 2.5 years. But it's going to play a little game first.
Yeah, always does. Always does.
Yep.
Go figure.
Yep. So we're going to have a break here, and I'm sure ready for it. I'm ready for this thing to get off of me. You know the thing I've been through. I mean, that weekend I went in that hospital, I had 4 radio shows to do, couldn't do nothing. I was like, I wanted to do them, you know. I still, of course, when they shot me full of that stuff in the hospital, I was I don't drink or do drugs. I was high as a kite.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that will do it.
You know, and I was reading all the nurses. It was like, oh, who's this and that? Who's in that bed down there? Oh, this weird dude's down there, older, and he's just blah, 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 blah. I could tell you something funny, but it might be a little bit too much for the radio. But because I had a problem and they sent me something to take care of it, I looked at this guy and said, "You're kidding me, aren't you?"
Go figure.
Oh Lord! Well, that was I'll tell you, I got past that and I managed to make it all work. You know.
Yeah.
So it's but look at where we are now. This is not surprising. I was hoping it would turn around. So maybe next week is when it actually gets better. I'll know if I can fill up tomorrow and the weekend because, woohoo! There's a problem sitting there, and. So what's Sky doing these days? Is she doing her show, or is she doing? She's resting.
I don't really know. I haven't talked to Sky in several months. You know, she was doing that show over on Blog Talk, but since she was pretty bored with it.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
yeah, and it's. You know, everybody just kind of gets around and does different stuff. She was playing with the photography business for a while. And
okay.
I don't know if that worked or not, but yeah, it's she seemed fine last I heard. So
that's good. That's good because she's good at what she does. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
it's really good. And with her being Leo and so forth, I'm surprised she's here in Arizona though. Thought she'd find another area where she could really bloom, you know. Because she's got both things going for her, so that balances everything out. So anyway, so everybody out there, just have patience. You know, we got this, I hate to use the word, but everybody else does this ISIS thing, which is what's going to be really dramatic. They're all over the place, and there's no safety nowhere, but you've got to stay positive so you don't attract that energy your direction. They will get wiped out before they're through. Understand when I said the goddess Isis, that's why I don't like the name, herself is coming in over that realm, and she wants to put the power in the females and take it away from the males. But see, that group over there has no heart, has no soul, has no spirit. And if everybody knew what they were really doing in that area, it's pretty nasty, almost to the point of vomit. And but they're going to get wiped out. And Charlie said, we're in the 4th year of this transition, and we start the 5th year in 2015. And then by 2018, we're going to see what the world's going to be like. It's hard, and no one can predict what it's going to be.
Hey, Fred, we got a couple of. First of all, a new way says just stopping by to say hi. Got our power back on after 5 days. A blizzard here, 16 inches of snow. Gotta love Maine weather.
Yeah, I couldn't handle it.
And then Nancy writes in, says, a quick love update for me. April 30th, 1953, 53.
I remember her. Hope she's got somebody there already. I mean, come on. It's time. It's time. Sometimes we don't realize. This thing keeps playing games with me. Here we go. I went right to it. Let's see. Oh yeah, girl, you're gonna do better after next month because something's in your way, and you do better next month. what I want you to do is be very clear what you want to attract in, because this is real important. When Saturn gets off your moon, because you have Scorpio sitting there, you're going to feel a lot better. So please look at what you really need in your life, and don't let anybody, you're not controllable unless somebody messes with your emotions. So I want you to be watch what you're doing, because that's what's so important right now. Don't let anybody mess with your emotions. You stay in you're a strong woman. You can be very secretive with that Scorpio moon. So, and then what goes cuckoo is your Mercury and Venus and Aries. That adds more things, so you can really jump on somebody and go talk. So it's like not in balance. I do see someone coming in, but I think it's going to be at the end of the year going into 2015, unless you've already met someone. Because the energy's around you, so it's starting to build. I haven't seen it in months and months and months and months and months, but now it's starting to come in. So if you've met somebody, this will be phenomenal. And if you haven't, it is coming in. You have to be clear of what you want. Do you want a companionship? What is it you want? And if you do that, that'll be excellent. Okay, so be clear now, because it is coming your way. But this aspect that's on you leaves on the 23rd, and I just checked it out if you heard me. That's when Sag does go in that day. Thank God, thank you, God. All right, so then, but I do see someone coming now. I didn't see them before. So you must have been making some changes personally for this to happen. And make sure they're not married. Look at the ring finger. See how white it is. And look at them. If they don't look you in the face, don't mess with them. Okay? So there you go. It's coming in now, Nancy. It's getting closer. Be ready for it. So God bless you, dear.
Yeah. It's, the sad part is, you said, they don't look you in the face. And I thought to myself, for the younger generation anyway, it's, you got to look them in the cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hate to tell you what my dear friend, who I haven't heard from in about a month, he showed me what he gets on his cell phone, what the women do. I won't tell you. Not on here, but I can't believe what they do, and they want to know why they're getting in trouble. I mean, this is stupid. This is so stupid. Don't do this.
Yeah, well, it's on the news anymore, for crying out loud. So
yeah.
Go figure.
I know. Yeah. I know. It's crazy what they're doing. And I'm sure some guys are being pretty stupid, too, because once you do that, it's everywhere.
Yeah, well, there was a congressman just got, it's been a couple years now, but he got kicked to the curb. And
oh, yes.
He waited for a while, then he tried to come back. Yeah, and I mean, his name was Wiener. I mean,
I know who you were talking about. Oh, yeah. And he looked like a wiener, too.
I mean, nobody, no novelist, no Hollywood, not even a soap opera writer could come up with that.
No.
But it happened. Oh, well.
Oh, yeah. You got it.
Yeah, so that's just the way stuff is. Well, we're down to a touch under 2 minutes, Fred. I guess we might as well wind it up. It looks like.
No, well, why not? I mean, this is. Oh well, we didn't. This is the least we've done in months and months and months. But that's the way it's going. Oh well, this is where it's at. So you can reach me on my cell phone, 480-236-5661. I do regressions, but I have to do them in person. Unless you have somebody that will be there on Skype in case there are any problems that happen, okay? Because I'm very protective of what I do. And I do do counseling. That's a whole different ball game, all right? So all of you, we're going to come through this. Have a prosperous week. Love, send lots of love all over the universe to get rid of all this nasty stuff. And just bless everyone that you see, and try not to let people get your goat, because that's them taking your power, okay? God bless every one of you. So good night, everybody, all right?
Okay, everybody, thanks for tuning in, and those of you that did contribute, thank you for that. We'll be back again next week and with another edition of Fred Fassett's Visionary Awareness right here on AchieveRadio.com. Be sure to check out Fred's website, PsychicFred.com, PsychicFred.com, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye now.
AchieveRadio.com